My name is Natalie, and this is my aha moment. My aha moment starts when I was 17. I had an abortion, and I carried that with me for a long, long time until I got pregnant with my oldest daughter. It was about 5-6 years later, and I really felt excited when that happened. I felt forgiven, really, for the first time. After all the shame and the guilt, I felt like, this was my second chance. And I started to get real sick when I was pregnant with her. I had hyperemesis, which is a really strong form of morning sickness. And I was in and out of the emergency room a lot. And I had to go through a barrage of questions each time. There were 3 questions that really ate at me every time. It was, is this your first pregnancy? And I had to say no. And then they would ask, do you have other kids at home? And I had to say no. And then they would ask, did you have a miscarriage? I had to say no. Every time I had to explain what happened and why. And 10 or 20 times throughout the pregnancy, I had to keep going in and answering those questions. And then about 5 years later, we hadn't had any more children, and we didn't think we would. And I was about to go back to work full time when I got pregnant with twins. And we found out it was twins, and it was so exciting and scary at the same time. And I had to go back into the emergency room again because I was twice as sick this time with the twins. It was awful. But every time I had to go in, I had to do the same thing, even though intellectually I knew, because I'm a Christian and I believe that God has forgiven me for those past mistakes. I never really, I think in my heart, really felt that forgiveness that could let me let go of everything. And then when the twins were born, somehow in those first few months of sleepless nights and not being able to even rest during the day, it occurred to me, watching the 2 of them sleeping, that now I had 3 kids to go with 3 pregnancies. And I never have to explain that ever again. I have those 3 beautiful kids. Unless somebody knows that they're twins and does the math, I never have to explain myself. And just in that moment, I really felt finally that this really was true forgiveness and something that I could look at every day and know my 3 kids are my forgiveness.